Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. South Korean stocks experienced a robust rally on Tuesday, with the benchmark Korea Composite Stock Price Index, IGASB-A, rising by 2.74%, or 159.13 points, to close at 5,967.75. The index briefly touched the 6,000-point mark for the first time since March 3, following an easing of Middle East tensions. This surge was primarily driven by hopes for renewed negotiations between Washington and Tehran, as President Donald Trump suggested Iran desires a deal with the U.S., and a report from the Wall Street Journal indicated an exchange of detailed uranium enrichment terms. The local currency also saw a sharp appreciation against the U.S. dollar, closing at 1,481.21. Foreigners and institutions were net buyers, while individuals offloaded shares. Tech and financial sectors led the gains, though defense shares saw a slight decline. This report is from UPI. NPR announced today that Israel and Lebanon are set to hold their first direct talks in decades. Diplomats from both nations will convene in Washington for these rare discussions. This marks a significant development given the long-standing tensions and historical adversaries between the two countries. The meeting aims to provide a platform for direct engagement, a step that has been largely absent from their diplomatic relations for many years. The international community views such direct engagement as crucial for potentially de-escalating regional tensions and fostering future dialogue, despite the challenging history between Israel and Lebanon. South Korea's Foreign Minister Cho Hyun announced on Tuesday that Seoul has dispatched special envoys to Algeria and Libya, with plans to send another to the Republic of Congo. The primary objective of these diplomatic missions is to explore and establish alternative supply routes amidst the escalating Middle East crisis. President Lee Jae-myung had urged the government to diversify supply chains, citing the severe disruption of the critical Strait of Hormuz due to the ongoing war between the United States and Iran, which has significantly hampered maritime traffic in the region. Deputy Foreign Minister for Economic Affairs Park Jong-hyun is currently in Algeria and Libya for discussions on potential supply chain cooperation, while former Ambassador Yoon Hae-ung will serve as a special envoy to the Republic of Congo. Additionally, Presidential Chief of Staff Kang Hoon-sik has been dispatched to the Middle East as a special envoy. Chung Byung-ha, Special Envoy to Iran, is also engaging with senior Iranian officials in Tehran to address regional developments, ensure the safety of South Korean nationals, vessels, and crew, and discuss ship passage. This information comes from UPI. NHK reports that North Korea test-fired strategic cruise and anti-warship missiles from a new 5,000-ton class destroyer named Cho-Hyun on Sunday. State-run Korean Central Television announced on Tuesday that leader Kim Jong-un personally observed these launches. The test, conducted over the Yellow Sea, involved 2 strategic cruise missiles flying for over 2 hours and 3 anti-warship missiles for more than 30 minutes, all hitting their designated targets. The purpose was reportedly to check the vessel's integrated weapon commanding system. Kim Jong-un reiterated his commitment to accelerating the country's nuclear and missile development programs, emphasizing that strengthening a nuclear war deterrent is the Workers' Party's top defense policy. This demonstration follows previous strategic cruise missile tests from the same destroyer last month, signaling Pyongyang's intent to bolster its naval capabilities. South Korean experts suggest these tests aim to showcase the North's ability to equip various weapons with nuclear warheads. Al Jazeera reports that Asia's major stock markets experienced a significant surge, while global oil prices notably declined, driven by renewed optimism surrounding potential ceasefire talks between the United States and Iran. This market rally on Tuesday followed an overnight statement from U.S. President Donald Trump, who claimed Iranian officials had contacted his administration expressing their willingness to reach a deal. Japan's Nikkei 225 index climbed by as much as 2.5%, and South Korea's KUSB index saw a gain of approximately 3.7%. Singapore's Straits Times index rose about 0.6%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index and Shanghai's SSE Composite Index were also up around 0.4 and 0.5% respectively. These gains in Asia mirrored a 1% rise on Wall Street's S&P 500 overnight. Concurrently, Brent crude, the global oil benchmark, dipped almost 1.5%, falling below $98 a barrel. This market relief occurred even as the U.S. implemented a naval blockade on Iranian ports, a move analysts had warned could intensify the ongoing global energy shortage. Previously, Brent crude had surged past $103 per barrel after Trump's initial threat to blockade the entire Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for a fifth of global oil and natural gas. The U.S. military later clarified that the blockade would specifically target vessels entering and exiting Iranian ports, a reduction from the initial broader threat. Shipping through the strait has been significantly impacted since the conflict began on February 28th, with only 21 vessels transiting on Sunday compared to roughly 130 daily before the war, leading to considerable turmoil in the global energy market. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.